All right, welcome to Mothership USS Scorpio. Please respond. I'm going to take us all to the starting page. The android H3X1042, affectionately known as Hexy, mills about the darkened interior of the USS Silverback, a small four-man scout ship owned by Tokugawa Enterprise. The live crew have spent the last 4 months in cryosleep, traversing the empty void of space. Upon receiving mission-sensitive data, the ship's computer automatically begins the thaw process, bringing the crew back into service. Hexy has no need of such respite, although she had powered down for a few weeks while undertaking the journey. She has spent the last 2 hours preparing the galley for the famished crew. The lights in the low berth lounge flicker to life as the ambient temperature rises to a comfortable level. The glass shells of the sleep suites begin to raise as the crew begins to stir, memories and thoughts intermingled with the long dreams of deep space travel. The first to awaken is the acting ship's officer and captain, Gerhard Weiss, known as Doc for his primary role as the onboard science officer. Doc, as you begin to awaken from cryosleep, you hear the computer send out a ship-wide alert.
Attention. Destination threshold.
You know that this means you have arrived at whatever destination Tokugawa Enterprise deems fit for you. As you begin to stir, you look over and see that the ship's marine begins to stir, as well as the teamster, the engineer, the mechanic, kind of the handyman on the ship, Dallas Benson. Doc, as you get up and head into the mess, what is your first meal after this deep sleep?
I think Doc's first meal is a slice of cheese pizza and
nice.
space Coca-Cola.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dallas, you slowly trundle into the mess and see Doc eating his pizza and cola. What do you have for your first meal?
I'm going to have breakfast burritos with hot sauce.
Nice. Something to wake up your taste buds. And KO, as you come in, you probably do some stretches in the hallways. You're coming in, limbering up your muscles. And you sit down at the table. What does KO have?
KO always has beef nachos.
Oh, nice.
with extra sour cream.
Wonderful.
Beef nachos are a thing?
They are
They're
now.
space nachos.
Space nachos.
I see.
Yeah, the space beef is, renowned among, in this stretch of the solar system. Hexy, what are you doing while everyone else is stuffing themselves to get a little protein in them?
So I look at them with some sense of envy because I can no longer put protein into myself. Because let's not forget, Hexy is convinced that she was not always an android.
Right. And so there's a little bit of maybe envy there.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Hexy has taken out of cryosleep her pet weasel,
Nice.
Mr. Fancy. And
Nice.
And so he's a least weasel with kind of reddish fur and a white belly. And if you've ever seen weasels, they're adorable but vicious little things if you're not careful.
Oh, yeah.
And so she's just giving him scritches under the chin as she's watching people in the mess.
Now, this weasel is eyeing those beef nachos. Weasel has not eaten in quite some time. What do you feed the weasel?
Oh, I absolutely am giving him nachos, just like I used to on our last ship. It's the only reason he doesn't immediately bite me, as he knows I'm the nacho giver.
Nice. I like how this has already started. Doc, you get an alert on the computer, and you know that you're going to get a mission briefing, and it comes into you from Tokugawa. Now that should appear on the screen now. It'll say mission briefing. If you double right click that, it will ask if you want to open an external window. It's it's going to open like an old school CRT monitor briefing. If you want to go ahead and click on that, you can open it. In fact, everyone should have access to that. I'll go ahead and read it to us here. Incoming message. Receiving ... Done. Dear contractors, Tokugawa Enterprises requires your expertise for an urgent and high-stakes mission. The research vessel USS Scorpio was tasked with transporting valuable cargo from SETI 281 to Delta 7, but it never reached its destination. Investigate the situation, secure the cargo, and deliver it safely to Delta 7. The cargo is of utmost importance to our science department, and any damage or loss will result in severe consequences. Your team is authorized to use whatever means necessary to secure the cargo, but please avoid causing unnecessary damage. Regular updates and reports are expected. We trust your team to perform with the highest standards and complete the mission successfully. As a result of the mission's importance, the fee for this job will be double our standard rate. Best regards, Tokugawa Enterprises. Now I'm going to make this visible to you as under the journal tab, so that everyone should be able to read this at any point during the session if you want to. That should now be visible. Perfect. So Doc, as you read this mission statement, I'll let you kind of disseminate that to the crew. They would have a chance to read it as well, but they're looking for your leadership. What words of encouragement might you have for them?
I think Doc just kind of looks at everyone and goes, well, you saw what it said, and they're gonna pay us double, so let's get this thing done. He's a man of few words.
Yes, let's. I hope you've had a restful stasis.
Oh, that's an awesome Android voice there. That was fantastic.
Thank you kindly.
You hear the computer voice come on again and say, visual confirmation of the surrounding area confirms the presence of a corporate asset, the USS Scorpio, adrift in deep space. And pulling up the visuals on the screen, this is what we see.
Oh, dang.
We see that another vessel appears to be docked in Docking Bay A. The ship transponder is off and no information is readily accessible about this first responder.
As the comms officer, I am assuming I would be trying to reach out to this ship.
Yes, give me an... this will be an intellect roll using computer skill, if you have it.
I believe I do. So, yes, computers. Normal?
Yes. Okay, so that was a failure by 2 points. So your stress will increase by 1. It'll happen automatically, but we fail forward in this game. So you managed to find the information. This smaller vessel, it appears to be property of the Vanguard. This is a mercenary group that is often hired by corporations or governments. There is no mention of Vanguard involvement in this mission. Their intent is unknown.
So I will relate this to the rest of the crew. Dog ship appears to be from Vanguard. Intentions unknown.
Vanguard? I come up and sort of look at the sort of scene taking the ship and goes, bloody mercs. For all we know, they're here as pirates. Doc, I reckon I should arm up for this one.
Yep. You should arm up. Dallas, start looking sharp.
Oh, aren't mercenaries always pirates?
Oh yeah, but some of us are the fun kind, as I nudge Hexy.
You are right. Some of us like weasels.
You hear the computer voice come on again.
Global Mesh Emergency Protocol initiated. Target locked on. Commencing docking. Thrusters offline.
You hear a loud
Mother has
clank.
such a reassuring voice.
There's a loud clank as your ship docks automatically with the USS Scorpio. there is now a new tab on the screen here for the GMEP to see what this global mesh protocol was. You can double right click on that and it should open that up for you. I'll go ahead and read it aloud. Incoming message, receiving, ... done. Dear valued members of the Tokugawa Enterprises family, nothing holds a higher priority for us at Tokugawa Enterprises than the safety and well-being of each and every one of our esteemed employees. It is with great pleasure that I share with you an exceptional development in our relentless pursuit of your security. The introduction of the remarkable Global Mesh Emergency Protocol, GMEP. This cutting-edge protocol has been integrated into every spacecraft operated by Tokugawa Enterprises, solidifying our commitment to your safety. Designed to ensure smooth transfer of assets and personnel, this exceptional system can autonomously redirect any spacecraft in our fleet within reach. It takes full control of the assisting spacecraft, seamlessly orchestrating a docking maneuver with the vessel in need. The two crafts remain securely connected until the crisis is resolved and the property, along with the personnel of Tokugawa Enterprises, is safeguarded. This unwavering commitment to unity and cooperation reflects our guiding star, your safety. Deactivation of GMEP can only be performed by authorized individuals with the necessary computer access privileges aboard the distressed ship, confirming control and preventing premature disengagement. This meticulous oversight serves as a testament to the high standards upheld by Tokugawa Enterprises in maintaining the integrity of our asset transfer operations and the safety of our employees. We at Tokugawa Enterprises take immense pride in standing at the forefront of fostering solidarity and cooperation. GMEP exemplifies our commitment to these principles, ensuring that no asset or member of the Tokugawa family is left in a state of isolation. We believe that by prioritizing security above all else, we create an environment where each one of you can thrive. United by the guiding light of GMEP, let us continue to work together, supporting one another and reinforcing the bond that makes us a formidable force in the cosmos. With deepest appreciation, Hiroshi Nakamura, CEO, Tokugawa Enterprises. And let me make this visible at all times for you as well.
KO
Sounds
absolutely.
like a bunch of malarkey.
Yeah, KO absolutely rolls her eyes every time they talk about safety and family.
Yeah, it sounds like they just forced you to do this mission. Doesn't matter if the ship's on fire, they're still going to force you to dock here. And you can't get off until you get the USS Scorpio's captain's authorization.
Nexie's going to pull a slight flight attendant situation because I'm assuming that she has like a bunch of protocols for safety. So basically reviewing where the exits are kind of thing. And so yes, to execute protocol, please remember all exits can be accessed through the following hatches. Please remember to always wear your the whole like protocol. She'll just go through it.
KO is so...
happening. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say, while this is happening, I think the captain is feeding the weasel like bits of pizza crust.
Nice.
This is the chubbiest weasel you've ever seen.
Beef nachos and pizza crust.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's like a little weasel-sized treadmill on this ship that we can get some exercise.
While Hexie is giving the flight attendant thing, I think because I've seen this so much before, I'm sort of standing behind her really boredly, doing the same gestures she's doing.
Like the Vanna White gestures, with your hands as you're pointing out the exits on the sides, and just like any flight attendant would do. Now that you are docked, Hexie, give me an intellect and computers roll to try to interface with the USS Scorpio.
Intellect, computers.
Well, you rolled better than last time, but you rolled exactly your score, and it has to be below your score.
Below.
It's less than, not less than, or equal to. So that's another failure.
Good.
So as you try to access it, it's not easy, but you manage somehow to pull up a ship's map. I'm going to activate this map for us. You have no other status information available other than the ship's onboard map. And so from here you can see all the different areas of the ship. You are in docking bay B. It looks like ahead of you is the cargo bay once you get through the airlock. I've got your tokens on the map. You should be able to move your tokens. Whoever is leading the way, I'm going to let you move into the cargo bay.
Can everyone see this map, or is it just in my processors?
So everyone should have access to this. As you access this, it shows up on everyone's small little personal kind of wrist-bound computer. They've got a little access screen on there, so they would have access to this map. As you move into the cargo bay,
I would guess Doc is going first.
Yeah, and KO's coming up, like, already armed and ready, just in case. They have absolutely no love lost for Vanguard.
The cargo bay... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Hexy is not trailing behind or anything, but she's going to be, like, skirting along the walls, looking at all the panels for anything she can possibly interface with.
Give me a straight intellect roll without any skills on that. The cargo bay is dark and damp. Every step echoes.
Oh, now I roll well.
Oh, now you do well.
Nice.
There are large crates with science equipment and a mobile lab for use in the field. As you are checking the panels, you go around one corner, Hexy, and you see this.
Oh dear.
Ooh.
Oh, that can't be good.
It looks as though this man took his own life by shooting himself in the mouth. He's holding a pistol in his right hand, his face a bloody mess.
Captain, we have a situation.
Yes?
I believe this organic human has deleted himself from his own interface.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
That does not seem natural.
You know, I feel like that's probably the most natural thing we'll see today.
Is it? Huh.
Doc, I reckon I should take point here. I'm also rather coldly going to see if he has any weapons I can take off him.
As you look him over,
he does have a pistol.
He does have a pistol in his hand, and if you take that pistol, you see it has 3 shots left. Do you want to take that into your inventory?
Yeah, I'll grab that for sure.
Okay, let me put that into your inventory.
He doesn't have any cigarettes, does he?
I'll pat down the usual places in the tactical vest, looking to see if he's got any cigs.
I would kill for a smoke.
Smoking is bad for you. It affects the lungs negatively.
Let me just adjust.
Yeah, well, so is being frozen and sleeping for years on end.
I mean, you are technically correct. However, I find that being frozen and sleeping for years on end has only helped preserve batteries.
He does have some cigarettes. They're in a vest front pocket. You see his name embroidered on the pocket. It says Sergeant John Ramos, and then you see the little stylized V logo for the Vanguard.
I'll hand the cigarettes over. Can I see any other signs of violence on the body? I mean, I have no love lost for the Vanguard, but they're not cowards. That's kind of half the problem.
As you pick up his left arm to check for wounds, you are shocked as you pull on the arm, the skin just sloughs off of his arm, coming off in a great sheet, exposing a shiny black, it almost looks like metal, but it feels like a hardened shell almost under his arm. Please give me a fear save as you do that.
Fair and reasonable. Let's get that up.
Hexy's totally like, oh, another with cybernetic enhancements.
I'm going to add my military training to this
Yes.
because I've seen some
Yep, you've seen some stuff. Here.
things.
Yeah, you've
Hey.
faced down a few things, and this is nothing out of the ordinary. It's more a curiosity to see that this person. It's not like an endoskeleton. It's almost like a carapace, like a crab or something, shedding its skin.
Never seen that before.
The only other wounds you notice on him besides the self-inflicted gunshot wound is a large puncture wound in his left upper chest.
Ooh, can Doc examine? I think Doc would examine that.
Yeah, Doc, if you want to take a look at that. If you've got surgery as a skill,
I
I'll let you
do.
add that.
Is this a intellect?
Intellect, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is clearly not made by a bullet. This is a puncture wound, as though something was driven into his chest. You estimate that it was probably about 2.5 inches, or roughly, what is that, about 6 centimeters in diameter, as it punched right through his upper chest, bypassing in between ribs number 3 and 4 and entering into his lungs.
Ooh.
I'm no medicine expert here, Doc, but wouldn't puncturing the lungs usually kill somebody?
Yep, that's a pretty solid cause of death right there.
But it kind of looks like it wasn't what got him.
It looks like
Must have been.
he did commit suicide. He did give himself a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the skull.
Unless someone made it look like it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the skull. A lot of television from 100 years ago seems to suggest that in true crime shows, people do this all the time.
And
Well, then that begs the question, why would someone do that?
I will have everyone give me a fear save, and because you are in the same room with Hexy, you all get disadvantage. Hexy, yours is just a straight fear save.
Okay.
Actually, you and I have got to stop watching that antique TV stuff.
You were
Oh,
kidding.
sorry, were we rolling at disadvantage?
Yes.
Sorry, I'll do that again. At disadvantage.
Nice.
Ah,
So
by one?
So looks like Doc and Dallas. You both are alarmed at this, and your internal senses that something is amiss begin to go off. Your internal alarms that there is something nefarious happening on this ship right now.
Mm.
Hexy, you also notice that this room has a ventilation port in it. Let me just make that visible. See, there is a ventilation, or a vent, in the room that leads into the ship's ductwork.
Okay.
I'll look
Is
into the vent and see if I can see anything in there, or see if something has passed through here.
Yeah, give me an intellect roll. It looks just pitch black in there, but you do notice that this room is a little bit on the cold side. It feels as though the ship's heating and cooling system is not functioning correctly, because this room is a little bit colder than it should be. You begin to see your breath fogging up in here as you are looking into the vent, as though cool, moist air is flooding through the ventilation system.
That's not a good sign.
Everybody, I think we need to be careful here. Let's not make any unnecessary noise we don't have to, and I reckon I should take point.
I think Doc nods at that and then looks at Dallas. Just goes, "How much firepower you got on you?"
I have a 5 Shetty. I imagine that's a hand weapon.
Yep, handheld weapon.
Does 3 die 10 though?
Yeah, it does a significant amount of damage. But you got to be in close.
Okay. I
I don't
carry
like
an
it
Arbiter
close.
Pulse Rifle.
And KO, what do you have?
Well, I've got this pistol with the 3-shot going spare if you need it, but myself, I've got my revolver. I've got the revolver and I've got my smart rifle.
And I think Doc just kind of takes that in and nods. And almost too quiet for everyone to hear, but they can still hear. I think he just kind of says somberly, "Let's hope that's enough." And then presses forward.
All right, lead the way. Let me know where you're headed.
Do you calculate complications, Doc?
You know, life is full of complications, Hexy.
KO, as you enter
Alright.
the hallway, you notice that the air in here is very humid. And you can see that there is water dripping down from the ceiling. There's likely a storage container of water on the upper decks. That seems to be leaking, and there is the pitter-patter of water in this hallway. And the smell of dank water is stronger as you approach that four-way intersection to the north. You can almost smell like a swampy sort of sauna shower room sort of smell. Now, KO, from there, if you peer to the north, this is what you will see. A hallway flooded with reddish brown liquid. It looks to be about up to your knees at this point if you were to traverse this hallway. Let's go back to the map.
So is that up towards life support?
That would be up towards life support.
Right, I think first things first, we need to check on the engine room. If there's flooding, we don't want the engine going critical.
Who is heading
And-
into the engine room?
Can Hexy tell, like, whether the engines are dead or not? Because I'm assuming that from a mechanical standpoint, she knows if a mechanical thing is running or not.
Yeah, go ahead and give me, that would be another intellect roll. I don't think you have mechanical repair.
I do not.
Dallas
I have
might.
physics that might play into it because engines, like
Yeah,
space
yeah.
engines, could be.
I'll let you
Okay.
let you use that. I like that.
Thank you.
Oh, critical
Wait.
success. So you rolled a double fives, and it was a success. So it's a critical success. The engine is functional because there is light and there is heat. It seems as though it is just stationary right now. The ship is not moving. There's no inertia, but it does have basic life support systems going on. The air in here is breathable. It's a little cold in the hallway, but the reactor is still viable.
Engine is live, reactor still viable.
Alright then, I think the next best thing is probably to head up towards the bridge, see if we can get a hold of the captain of this ship if they're still in one piece.
Dallas is going to look for something small that he can throw in that water
Yeah,
just to test it.
you probably, like,
see if-
from the cargo bay, there'd be lots of boxes full of test tubes and small samples and things like that. You could grab.
I'm going to find something that'll make a good splash, and I'm going to chuck it down that hallway into the water and see if anything happens.
As you throw that down into the water, you hear a splash, and then you hear a sound. And it's coming from the engine room.
No.
Please do not throw items, Dallas. We are not here for amusement.
So spinning
Take a
towards
look.
the sound. Quick question as well. The cargo that we were meant to collect.
You don't know
Do
what
we
it
know?
is.
Okay, so there's no way of knowing whether it's actually in the cargo bay without speaking to the captain.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, at that particular sound from the engine room, go into that kind of ready stance, rifle raised. And the cybernetic eye kind of whirls and spins as if it's like doing the scoping focus.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And proceed carefully towards the engine room ahead of the group.
KO, what do your elf eyes see? No kidding, sorry.
It's just a wisp of cloud. As you peek in to the engine room, the first thing that you notice is a wave of almost unbearable heat washing out over you. This room is full of pipes and steam. It's hot. It's narrow. Dallas, you would understand that this is an abnormal situation, that the engine room should not be overheating like this. There's definitely something going on with the reactor that is abnormal.
We're gonna have to check that out once we know it's safe. What was the sound? What did the sound like?
Organic, was it mechanical?
Let me play it again.
Sure.
Lilith the player's thinking organic, but I don't know what Hexy would be thinking.
KO sort of steps forward. Unfortunately, the extreme heat in here kind of renders my thermal vision useless, I think, in
Everything's
the immediate
red
situation.
on your thermal vision.
Yeah, so instead I'm going to switch to, because like visibility in here seems a bit low, I'm going to switch more to like a tactical night vision style, where it's like if I close essentially my still human eye, I get more of a like pierce into the shadow, almost polarized view of the world, and sort of proceed carefully.
You can see steam jetting from small pinholes in some of the steam pipes. That is likely what is causing this. There are shut-off valves here and there in the engine room. What are you specifically looking for?
Either looking for crew, signs of movement, and definitely whatever caused that noise.
Off in the distance, kind of around a corner, you think you see a shadow that flickers for a moment and then moves.
I won't make any sudden moves because I don't have a good enough view of it, but I will do the classic clenched fist raised,
Nice.
half, to hold, indicate the others should hold for a second while I move a little bit further ahead. Because I think the range on my rifle is actually quite good.
Yeah, I think it might even be extreme range. Yeah, so
Extreme.
So you could take very, very long shots with that.
So I'll kind of hunker down almost in like a sniper position and sort of zoom in my vision on this thing if I can.
Dallas, give me an intellect roll with mechanical repair skill added.
I'm not seeing that skill.
Do you not? Oh, you may not have it. Let me see.
I have jury rigging and industrial equipment.
Let's do jury rigging. I like that.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, these dice hate me.
Oh, same though.
You know that this is not a good situation for the reactor. If there is steam escaping, That means that the reactor could be overheating, and judging by this level of heat, you know that this could be something that is a critical flaw, that um, this needs to be fixed.
Can Hexy...
We're
Oh,
we're
ahead,
gonna have
sorry.
to get in there and get this thing fixed as he lights a cigarette.
You know that in presence of heat and unknown gases, this is unsafe.
Well, if I'm gonna blow up, I'm gonna blow up smoking. Does that really reduce my stress at all?
You know what? I'm going to say reduce your stress by 1 point. I like that.
Oh, cool.
Dallas, you cannot hope to save the cargo if you blow up the entire ship. I was wondering if Hexy can, a la R2-D2, you know how R2-D2 keeps plugging into walls and figuring out shit that way?
Oh yeah, yeah. You've got ports and adapters and stuff. Give me
so
computers roll. Or do you have
computers
hacking?
roll.
If you have hacking, you can use hacking.
I don't have hacking. No. So intellect and computers?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh. I think. No,
yes,
wait.
That is success. What
Good.
are you?
Yes.
What are you specifically looking for?
I'm looking for basically what's it called? Not analysis. Oh my god, I'm not Englishing today. Diagnostics on the engine core.
You find that there is a coolant leak in multiple areas, and that the core is nearing the critical state. That if this leak continues for probably another 15-20 minutes, the core will reach critical state and may begin the meltdown procedure.
Okay. So, core is leaking coolant in several areas. Critical, imminent.
KO, do you go into the room at all? Or are you staying by the door?
Oops, sorry, I'm having trouble moving the token. Let's go there. Yeah, moving in to try and get in a good position to kind of see whatever was sneaking around out there. And I can kind of hear the conversation going on behind me, but don't really want to take my focus off whatever that was. Because if things were all well and good on the ship, then presumably the maintenance crew wouldn't have allowed it to come up to this critical sort of state.
Absolutely. Dallas,
Yeah.
when you come in here, you can see that there's a lot of problems, and this thing needs a complete overhaul. You know, it needs to be dry docked. It's probably salvageable, but it needs a lot of work, and there are some repairs that you can make quickly. If you want to give me an intellect roll with, you don't have mechanical repair, you can do jury rigging, trying to get some valves shut off here.
Okay.
You go to one valve and you go to turn it off, and you hear kind of a screeching sound as the valve it's stuck. You manage to get it to move, and as you do, you let out an exhale of smoke, and then you hear a sound. And this comes around the corner.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, it was organic.
And this thing
the
is just massive. It looks to have the head and shoulders and upper torso of a human, long, spindly, insect-like arms, and as it slowly clumps towards you, the steam blasting it, you see the condensation on that black carapace, not unlike that the John Ramos had in the cargo bay. As this approaches, everyone give me a fear save, and everyone except for Doc will have disadvantage because you are near Hexy.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Everyone sees this, right? Like,
Yes.
whereabouts is it coming from?
So it's kind of over here in the back left corner
Thank you.
of the engine room.
Thank you. Okay, so fear save. Let's go. Oh dear.
And I think, did everyone fail that?
Oh
Yeah.
no.
That's bad when Hexy fails that. That's really bad. I'm gonna take us to a map. This is the one we saw with the water. I'm just gonna put us on this map. This is the map we will use for any sort of battle or combat. Everyone will need to make a speed roll. If you pass, then you get to go before the monster. If you fail, then you go after the monster.
Okay. So
Just a
just
normal.
If you have military training, you can add that skill.
What about physics added to speed? Because
Mm,
motion and energy do have something to do with speed and space and time.
Because
Yikes, failure.
the gravity in here is a little different than normal, I'm going to allow you to use that physics because you know that you have to, for your shots and everything, you need to compensate for that. Nice. All right, so KO is the only one that failed. So I'm just going to move KO back just a little, just so I know that you go after the monster. So we will start with Doc, and then go Hexy, Dallas, the monster, and then KO. So Doc, you're up first.
Yes. So Doc does not really have weapons, but he's smart, so that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think. What would Doc do? I think he would look and try to, from wherever he's standing, see if he can identify maybe any like weak spots that someone else could like shoot at.
Yeah, give me an intellect roll. If you have xenobiology or biology, I will let you add that.
I do not. I have the study of plant life.
I'm going to say no on that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, it looks like the legs might be vulnerable as well as the head. And you know that based on if this is indeed some sort of arachnoid or insect, that they spiders particularly function on hydraulic means. They move their legs with hydraulic pressure, and that if you can puncture this thing and reduce that hydraulic pressure, there's a good chance that that may slow it down. And
Wait, is that actually...
And you can share
Is
that
that
information.
true?
That is actually true. Yeah, they are hydraulic.
Well, they're creepier than they were before.
Right?
We have learned something new about spiders. I think Doc just yells, "The legs are the head! The legs are the head!"
Hexy, you're up.
I'm going to go for the head because it seems to be thicker and generally bigger than the legs with my pulse rifle.
You got it. Go ahead and click on your pulse rifle.
Again, I am aware I'm probably abusing this right now, but could I use physics on this one? Because motion, energy, and effects on space and time, I probably have a good idea of how to angle something to make sure that the energy goes in the direction I want it to go.
Yeah.
And this is a pulse, not a bullet.
Yeah, I will say yes.
Thank you.
Yep. Your pulse of rounds spray across the internal piping, kind of narrowly missing the head of this as it lumbers towards you. Sparks fly out. Additional jets of steam vent out from new holes pierced into the side of the steam vents. You hear the ship's onboard computer.
Temperature control failure. Catastrophic event in T minus 120 minutes.
Moving targets are impractical.
The ship's alarm begins to go off, and I just started it's a 2-hour timer, and so you basically have 2 hours to finish the scenario. Before that,
Dang.
Engine goes nuclear.
I love that.
All right, we are up to Dallas. And that says 59 minutes. It's actually 1 hour and 59 minutes. It'll reset once it hits the bottom of the hour. So it is a 2-hour timer. What you got, Dallas? Run. If you're on mic, I can't hear you, Dallas.
Sorry, I was muted.
Oh.
I'm going to slide over here to the side because I have no ranged weapons, and hopefully I can do something as it passes by.
Do you want
As it
to
goes.
exit the room and head back into the hallway, or do you stay in the engine room?
I'm gonna stay in the engine room.
Okay, got it.
I'm just hoping that it might just go by me,
This
and I
thing-
can hit it then.
This thing will lumber towards the group. Let me roll a 4-sided die. 1 Doc, 2 Hexy, 3 KO, 4 Dallas. Oh, it's going for Dallas.
Oh no!
So as you veer around to the side, it lashes out with one of its arms, a tentacle lash. And it hits for 14 points of damage. So I'm going to reduce your health from 15 down to 1. Oh, so you have armor. That will take 5
I have
off.
5 armor.
Perfect, so you'll take 9. So then let me destroy your armor, because your armor is now no longer useful, but it did preserve you from some of that that damage there. Give me a body save. Okay,
Finally, I got something.
excellent. And then we go to KO. Your turn.
Yeah, as soon as this thing popped out, KO called out, "Contact! Contact!" And they're going to, because they're already sort of taken the knee with the rifle at the ready, so they're just going to try
Give yourself
and...
advantage with that, because you have been telling me that you were in a state of readiness and kind of in position and a good combat stance.
Quick question: does contact mean something to Hexy? I mean, she's worked with KO before.
Yeah, so when they sort of crawl out that, it's essentially hostile incoming fight, essentially.
I see the logic. Hexy might be a computer. I am not.
Oh, okay. So, critical success. So, max
Woohoo!
damage.
Yes.
Let me roll a wound. Okay. So, this thing takes significant damage. It does not die, but you have severely wounded it. Your smart rifle punches through armor, and it hits this thing right below the neck and just blows a huge gaping hole. You see the right arm kind of slump to the side and slough off as it batters up against the wall and begins to fall onto its right side, its legs twitching like a spider on its back.
Does it bleed?
Is it
like...
It's gushing out this black liquid, this black juice is just spurting from that wound.
Ugh.
Let's go. Top of the order is going to be Doc.
Oh dear. So you said there's a big hole in its neck right now?
Yes.
I wonder if Doc can see, like, the spare handgun sort of tucked into a holster on the back, like, essentially on the back of my utility belt that you might be able to grab.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm standing close enough, I think, reasonably to see that. So yeah, I guess Doc strides up, takes the gun from KO and shoots.
So let me put it on your character sheet. One moment.
Hey.
That should now show up under weapons. Yes, it does.
Okay. Would I be able to use the surgery skill?
I'm going to say yes, because you can see that was a pretty severe wound, so now you've got a really good idea of where this thing can be hurt.
Okay, awesome. Oh no!
And
Oh,
this
no.
thing is squirming, and you actually see the round hit its hard exoskeleton and ricochet off in a shower of sparks. These rounds are frangible rounds. They're designed to impact, but if they hit like the hull, they don't punch holes through the hull. That would be really bad. So these things kind of explode on impact, and it just wasn't enough to punch through that carapace before the bullet fragmented into a dozen small pieces. Hexy, you're up.
I'm going to actually. Was I able to analyze where Doc was aiming? Was able to figure that out because Doc's surgical knowledge would probably be something Hexy is aware of.
Yeah, give me just a straight intellect roll.
Intellect.
Oh yeah, you saw exactly where he was trying to hit.
Okay, and so I would argue again using physics and what I have just learned from watching Doc, I would try to aim at the thing again with my pulse rifle.
Perfect. Nice. Your bullets ripple across its body, and you can see smaller little gouts of black juice just pumping out of its chest, where you left a ripple of 3 shots directly into its sternum.
Nice.
We go to Dallas.
Okay, so his right arm is off, correct? Or slumped?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to aim for his knee where the exoskeleton would be weaker
Okay.
at that joint, and I'm going to hit him with my vibe shetty.
Perfect. You go up and just hew into him.
Is it actually called a vibe shetty?
It is.
Yes.
Let me give him a bleeding wound. Major injury. So hand or foot severed. So you actually sever the lower leg off of there. That was 12 points.
Does he fall over?
He falls over and expires.
I'm going to light another cigarette.
He's laying on the ground, his legs kind of twitching, curled up like a spider's would be if the spider had just died. Legs curled up towards its abdomen as it just twitches, and that black fluid pulses a few more times and then slows to a trickle, and you see the weight of the body begin to kind of weigh the creature down and flatten it out slightly.
Listen, Doc, if this is the cargo, we're gonna have problems.
There are creatures on the homeworld known as possums who tend to play dead. Are we sure this has been killed?
I'll hit it again.
Yeah.
You could decapitate it if you like. You take the head off. And
Yeah.
it is very clearly dead.
And Hexy's basically Captain Obvious. It's like, I believe it has been killed.
Let's go back to our map.
Hexy has no internal thought process. It's all out loud.
Dallas will ask Doc, "Hey Doc, do you have a first aid kit with you? Because I am that smack he got me with hurt really bad."
Doc does not have a first aid kit. There may be one on the ship, probably in life support.
Okay.
You should find Dallas. You should find joy. Pain is a sign of humanity. Pain is a sign of being organic.
Ooh.
Hexy, we talked about this. You and your bedside manner. I'll help Dallas up. Just take a real quick look at that wound. Does it look anything like the one we just saw on the dead Vanguard?
Give me an intellect roll, and if you have pathology or xenobiology, you can add that skill. It looks like that was a similar type of wound, probably similar in it's a similar creature, if not the same creature that dealt that to the John Ramos Vanguard mercenary.
I think we better get to life support quickly. That wound looks not that different from what we saw on the Vanguard.
Life support is not the same thing as medbay, is it?
It would be similar. It's probably a med bay plus has the controls for, the ship's oxygen and things like that.
Okay.
Failing that, we ought to get to the science lab. I don't want to know what kind of toxin that thing has.
Mm.
Oh, in fact, thinking that, I'll break a bit off so that if we need to synthesize some sort of antidote in the science lab, we have a sample.
Nice. I like it.
Ooh.
Yeah, sounds good.
I think.
I should mention, if anyone needs to zoom in or out, you can use page up and page down or your mouse wheel to zoom in and out. And if you need to drag the screen, you can right click, hold it down, and then move the mouse, and it'll rearrange your screen. You can center things. I think I failed to mention that at the beginning. Doc, as you get there, let me just roll a die. You see a vent right up here near you.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the vent you saw in the cargo bay.
Interesting.
And you hear a sort of scratching sound coming from the vent.
Ooh. He would probably get a little closer to see if he can discern what the scratching is.
You've heard rats on ships before. It sounds kind of like that, maybe a little bigger. And as you get close enough to maybe peek in through the vent holes, the vent bursts off, and two pairs, or a pair of black hands reach out from the vent and rake at you. Let me take us back to our map here. Let me pull on a creature.
Where's a weasel?
Doc,
Send the weasel in there.
give me a body save as you try to avoid being struck by this.
Woo. Here it is. Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
He's going to come in with a claw, raking at you, but missing. So it grabs a hold of your clothes and kind of turns you as the claws rip into your clothing, but narrowly miss your skin.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go in the same initiative order that we had in the last fight. So Doc, I'll let you go up first, then Hexy, and then Dallas, and then the creature, and then KO.
I think Doc is, while screaming, just gonna pull out the gun again, and just like try to shoot it pretty much point blank.
Since you are point blank, go ahead and give yourself advantage on that.
Yeah.
Your shot comes in, and it's just not enough to damage it. Hexy, you're up. You see these two black, shiny hands come out and try to rake across Doc's face and chest.
I'm going to triangulate using the physics skills how best to hit it without hitting Doc.
Okay, perfect.
And basically aim over Doc's shoulder into the thing's face. I'm assuming face.
Yes.
I see mainly arms.
Yep.
But, yeah. I'm gonna run out of rounds.
Oh, that is a critical failure.
Fuck.
Doc, give me a body save or you're getting hit by that round.
Good boy.
Oh,
no.
Ooh,
I am so sorry.
Okay. So first thing, Hexy, if you over in the chat bar, you can see where it has make a panic check. You can click on that. That will roll a d20, and you want to roll above your current stress level of 8. Otherwise, you will panic.
Above.
Yep. Oh, I don't think that.
That rolled a
No,
100,
so
so
that will. Oh, hang on. Let me adjust your stress. So that was the wrong roll. On the
oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. On the chat screen, like under where it showed your critical failure, it
Oh,
says
yeah.
stress increase from 7 to 8, and then make a panic check. If you just click on the make a panic check, that should roll a d20 for us.
I don't see the make a panic check. Am I blind?
I can go ahead and do that for you real quick.
Please, I'm so sorry.
No problem. Okay, you made it, so
Ooh.
that is good. But you do hit Doc. Doc, you're gonna get hit for. Oh gosh, this one does a lot of damage. Okay.
I am so sorry.
It's okay.
Doc, you have armor, or excuse me, you had armor. You're gonna take a wound, and you're gonna be at 13.
Oh my God.
All right.
Let me roll on the wound table to see what we got here. Oh. Let's see. All right, you just lost 2 fingers on your left hand.
Oh God.
Your little and ring finger just got blown off by this pulse rifle blast. Blood is just spurting from the shattered remains of your hand. We will go to Dallas.
No physics, no nothing. Just I'm gonna try to hack his arms off.
Nice.
Doc, I am sorry about your wedding ring.
It's like, it's okay, Beulah will understand.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Beulah, what a great name.
Yeah.
Excellent. The creature will attack at Dallas. Oh, 1 point of damage, Dallas. That's manageable.
Yeah, I can take that.
Perfect. I'll give that to you right there. And then we go to KO.
So, seeing what has just transpired, I'm going to cheekily see if I can get myself advantage by readjusting my shot to do the opposite of what I just saw Hexy do.
You don't want to shoot the captain?
Yep. Let me... Smart rifle. Can I get advantage for that? Because now I've got some better idea for aiming.
You know what not to do.
Good gracious.
Yeah, see, I told you it rolls way too many dice. But that is okay, that's a success. Tell me how you kill this thing outright.
Thank goodness the system does the math for us.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I see all this happening, the chaos, and I'm kind of imagining that half the reason, like narratively speaking, that KO is going so slowly is they're taking the time to aim.
Mm-hmm.
So while all this is sort of unfolding, the chaos is unfolding, they're completely focused on the target, and as soon as its head looms forward to try and attack Dallas, squeeze the trigger and get it straight between the eyes.
Nice. The head just explodes like a melon. It slumps out of the vent and sloshes into the water. And you see a few little air bubbles coming up as its lungs release whatever air they had left in them as it slides under the muck of this hallway. This is much smaller than the last one that you faced. This looks to be roughly man size, whereas the other one was significantly larger. But now you know they are using the vents. Let's go back to our map. Doc, you've got a wounded hand, but life support, thankfully, is right up here.
Also, as we're like hustling to life support, looking at this thing and looking at basically what we saw just happen or what was going on inside the body of that Vanguard, I'll look to Doc and the others and say, think we now know where the crew all went.
And saying that, everyone give me a sanity roll.
Sanity roll. We should just be clicking sanity, yeah?
Yep.
Or is that a save?
This would be a sanity save. So if you click on sanity, it will roll that for you.
Okay.
So Dallas made it. And Doc made it. And KO and Hexy did not. So your stress will increase. As Hexy, this does not compute. This is difficult for you because you have this understanding that you maybe used to be organic and now you are something different, and here you're seeing something going from human into being another type of non-human.
Right.
And this is a terrible thing. Like this is the opposite of what happened to you, and you wonder, is this in your future as well? Is this the next state that now that I've become this android? What's next?
Right.
What if this happens again? At KO, you know that one of the worst things that could happen to you would be to be enslaved by something that makes you an unthinkable soldier, and you would lose your free will. You would lose your ability to make those decisions. Even though, combat has been your life, you still have always had that free will to say yes or no and make those decisions. But to have something take over, whether it's a parasite or what else, to be enslaved like that is just a terrifying prospect. As you come into life support, this room is sterile, clean, and bright. On the floor, you see the ship's android lying in pieces. There are several panels in here that control the life support systems in each room.
I'll do what I can to get the injured set up on some beds.
So both, I think Doc and Dallas are both injured.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You can get them up on the beds. Give me a roll to get an intellect roll to get the Medibay computers operated and to cauterize wounds and do what they can to alleviate pain.
I would like to ask.
Yeah, give me a hand with this, Hexy. You're better with this computer stuff than me.
I'm coming in and lending a hand for sure. But before I do, or after I do, the order things can be discussed. So there are these androids, right? Like on the ground?
Yes.
I don't know if anybody recalls the scene in Rogue One where, what is it, K2 does basically cannibalizes the other one by plugging into the back of its head.
Yes.
Yeah. Hex is going to try to pull that with the android and trying to figure out what it last saw, what it knows.
Yeah. If you had hacking, I will let you use that. Otherwise, just use your computer skill with an intellect roll.
Just computer skill. Can I potentially give myself advantage just because android to android, there's a bit more of a connection than to just a regular computer?
Yeah, I like that.
And can I use my military training? Field medicine style.
Yes. Yep, I like that.
Okay.
Perfect.
Ooh, success.
Both successes. So any bleeding, any pain is alleviated through the medibay. The two missing fingers, the stumps are cauterized, and as well as for Dallas, they run scans and just kind of as a measure of completeness, you run a scan to see if there's any infectious agents on them, and it comes up clean. Now, Hexy, you access this android, and as you go through the main file menus, it says Welcome Angus 5. You know that's the name of this android. You pull up the events of the USS Scorpio, and you know that this went to the mining colony SETI 281 and was on its way to Tokugawa Enterprises research facility known as Delta 7, carrying 3 sealed containers of gas. It was intercepted by Vanguard mercenary group. They boarded the Scorpio by force. Amidst the chaos, some of the researchers on the Scorpio managed to flee in an escape pod, and Angus initiated the global mesh emergency protocol. And that is when he was destroyed, and that is where his log ends.
So we said SETI 2, cargo was gas, and what was the planet? Delta
7.
Delta 7. Okay. And Angus is the droid. Okay. And as Hexy's accessing these log files, to the others, the way that it looks is her eyes kind of start fluttering like those dolls that used to have the eyelids that could go up and down.
Oh, they're so creepy.
No.
But it's like, so it does that weird fluttering, but it has a glow underneath it. Like this pink inner glow that Hexy normally has from the rest of her. It's sort of like as she's scanning those files. And like she will repeat the information aloud as she's going. So, accessing files. Ship set out from Delta 7 with 3 containers of gas. Assaulted by crew of Vanguard. And basically relays the thing to the rest of the crew.
I think Doc is kind of listening to all this and has gathered himself back up now that his fingers have been cauterized.
You could still use your middle finger at Hexy if you have to. That one is still there.
No, that's not her fault.
Doc, as you are in here, you know that this is where you would have access to many of the shipboard services like heating and air. As you glance at the computer, you notice that the thermostat indicator for the engine room is lit up red, as though that room is significantly hot. You notice that the galley seems to be below temperature. It seems to be cold, as does the science lab. Likewise seems to be in a state of coldness compared to the rest of the ship. And it looks like you have controls here where you can adjust the temperature on the ship.
Interesting. Well, I definitely want to cool down the engine room, and hopefully slow that countdown.
Let me hold this up.
Doc, I think it's safe to say that if the protocol got activated, the cargo is still on board. We're looking for 3 gas canisters, I guess.
Yes. And I
Probably would be in the science lab?
Science lab, maybe the galley. Maybe that's why those places are cooler than the others.
As you cool
I
the
am
engine
concerned
room,
the cargo may be damaged.
you note that the cargo bay begins to heat up. It's like if you're drawing, forcing cool into one area, heat tends to go to another area.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Interesting.
It could be the nature of the gas.
True. He
Hot
also
gases tend to rise above the cold.
Doc just is like, yes, thank you. He does have a pathology background. I'm wondering if he's trying to kind of put together maybe like how the gas could have caused like the monsters.
Yeah, give me an intellect roll with pathology.
And he does not know.
Yeah, it's there's several different vectors. It could have been airborne. It could have been bloodborne. You did see Sergeant Ramos did have a puncture wound. It could have been through that, or he could have inhaled it. There's no way of knowing without actually having a sample that you could test.
I see there's a computer room.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Want to head into
I'm
the
wondering
computer
if...
room?
Yeah, Hexy's just gonna go in there and check out what she can, although no hacking skills, so it's probably just gonna be straight rolls with computers.
So there's a low humming sound coming from the computer room. The walls are covered with buttons and screens, blinking lights. You see a small console with the words GMEP and a card slot. And you know that it would require a key card to deactivate the GMEP from here.
Oh, okay.
So this
We're
is
gonna
how
have
you
to
would
sort that.
release your ship, the Silverback, from the Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
But you need the card.
Can I look for it?
Yeah, give me an intellect roll as you search around.
Intellect.
You search through, there's a paper log in here as well as digital logs, and it looks as though the key to the GMEP is on the captain's person at all times. You also find a name for the captain of this ship. Captain is Captain Kate Walker.
Kate Walker.
Hexy, can you see from the logs whether the captain was one of the people on the escape pod?
Can I do that?
Yeah, you could access that. Give me another roll.
Can I use computers in this case?
You can. You see that it shows that the escape pod jettisoned. There was one person's name registered. They put in their code to jettison the escape pod, but it was not the captain. It was one of the research scientists. But there is room in each pod for two, so you're not sure if the captain could have been the other person. It would have been uncommon for the captain not to enter her code into the pod, so it's likely she is still on the ship, or she may have been possibly wounded and this researcher put in their code instead.
Okay.
It looks like we have no choice but to search around a little bit more. I mean, we can't get our ship off unless we do something.
That is correct. Captain Walker must be found.
Hexy, you notice there is a vent in the computer room.
Oh no.
As soon as she says that, I take a knee and ready my rifle. I was like, what is it, Hexy? You know I don't like it when you just say, oh no.
But it is so suspenseful. I hate to tell you this, K.O. There is a vent up there. The odds of it having another creature in it are 32 to 1.
Nice. As the room grows quiet, you don't hear any sounds coming from here. Hexy, you do see there's a spot here in the computer section where you could turn off that ship-wide alarm if you wanted to.
I am going to do that in favor of I'm assuming that it will only override this particular alarm, so if it goes critical, we'll hear a new alarm come up. Yes?
Very likely, yes.
And it will allow us to hear more subtle sounds more easily.
Exactly.
So, absolutely turning it off.
And you don't need to make a roll for that. You managed to deactivate the alarm. The countdown is still ongoing. In fact, let me just see if I can find it real quick, and I'll tell you where we're at. On here, it kind of gets buried in the chat screen. 1 hour, 24 minutes remaining.
Hexy, Captain Obvious, 1 hour, 23 minutes remaining.
What are your
Stop.
orders here, Doc? Should we prioritize finding the key card, or, I mean, I can't leave the cargo, and that's that, but whatever else you want.
Finding the keycard would release us and allow us to carry the cargo on our own ship.
Yeah, I think the key card is definitely the first step. So let's find Kate.
Do you know her, Doc?
I could potentially.
Using a first name is very personable.
All captains just call each other by first names. It's just a thing we do. We're kind of kooky that way.
Oh. Remarked. Thank you, Doc.
Doc says, well, we should, let's check the bridge first. Yep.
Did Doc and I recover any health?
Yes.
Yeah.
2 hit points each. I'll go ahead and add that onto your characters.
Yeah.
I just realized the blue and red things there are thermometers.
Yeah, kind of showing where the temperature is.
Makes sense.
There we go. As you go out into the hallway, it is nice and quiet out there. You hear no sounds other than the dripping of water coming down from the ceiling.
Yay.
KO, you make it to the bridge.
Yeah. Head there carefully, listening, rifle at the ready.
Oh.
That is a
what
lot of
you
blood.
see.
Mm.
Signs of a fight. There are bullet holes in equipment and machinery. There's ample amounts of blood. Bodies lay scattered about the room. On the floor, you see an open gas container. There's a picture. The container is cylindrical, 20 inches by 8 inches, or 50 centimeters by 20 centimeters, and is heavy. There are markings on the side that indicate a high/normal temperature equals open. A trail of black spores lead from the container to the floor, where it ends at a group of bodies that have begun to mutate in the same way that John Ramos mutated. You see their skin peeling off of black segmented carapace.
I'm just going to, while we can, see if between Dallas and I we can just coup de grace these things. I don't know if it's like one of those Earth homeworld type parasites that can move dead bodies if the head's intact.
It
The
seems to have
spores.
control of the central nervous system, so that would be a valid assessment.
Yep.
The spores appear to be the source of the infection. I recommend you try not to breathe.
Yeah, that one's a little hard, Hexy.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if Dallas and I can take these things out before they fully mutate and become a problem.
Let me have the two of you give me a sanity roll as you do this. And then, Doc, give me a fear save as you see them just destroying these, or desecrating these bodies.
Retro.
Bro.
Yeah, this is gruesome business. Oh, Doc.
Cool.
You get to make a panic check. Let's see what we get here.
Oops.
Oh, you rolled above your score, so you're okay.
Woo.
Oh, no.
So we want to roll. We want to roll above.
Hang
For
on, so-
that is the single one that we want to roll above.
Yep.
Is that
So that
okay?
That rolled twice. I don't know. Let's take the success. I like that success more than I like the failure. So I'm going to say that you are not feeling doomed. let's say that you succeed on your panic check, but it is grim business as you're watching this happen.
As we're doing this, we're also looking for name badges, any indication of who they might be. Of course, I mean, we're looking for Kate.
It looks
Captain
to
Kate.
be, you see executive officers, you see the head of ship security, various bridge crew. There's no sign of Captain Kate Walker.
I mean,
They're all wearing red shirts, right?
Exactly.
well, that's what I was going to go with. A question I was going to ask: do we need to look at name badges, or because it's Tokugawa Enterprises, we can tell by pips and
Yeah,
stripes
you
on the
would know
uniforms?
by pips. She would probably have like epaulets on her shoulder or something.
Yeah.
There would be some insignia that you would recognize.
Okay. And Hexy's going to examine the canister cylinder thingamajigger for any information, any labels on it that might indicate what gas we're actually talking about.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an intellect roll.
Yep. Intellect. Can I use linguistics on this? Like if this has a Latin name or some sort of weird
Yeah.
scientific appellation?
Yeah, I'll let you use that.
22.
Oh, that's a critical success.
Hey.
You determine, so this is marked as sample unknown, but it has the origin as the SETI 281. There is information saying this must be kept at cold temperatures at all times. Failure to do so will result in canister failure. And you see that blinking red light on there that this canister failed, became warm or was not kept cold and therefore opened. Doc, do you take a sample of some of the black spores?
Yes, I'm going to take a sample. Sorry, I accidentally hit that on the
Well, I assume that's what you wanted to do, which is fantastic. You go ahead and collect some samples of the spores with your sample collection kit. You don't need to even make a roll for that. They're just sitting there on the ground. You know that this is likely not a super valuable specimen because it's been exposed to whatever else is out here, but this is better than nothing. This at least may satisfy the mission requirements in some sense.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, if there's any like spare body parts lying around, can I think Doc would also examine that. Using his pathology to try to figure out what's up.
Yeah, plenty of body parts. Doc, give me an intellect roll with either surgery or pathology.
Ooh.
I think surgery might give you a higher bonus.
Yes. Hey.
Success. Most of the people here were killed by gunfire. You see a few that were killed by stabbing, by blades. It looks like not the same wound on John Ramos, but by like combat knives or bayonets. You see one or two individuals that have starting to undergo that change where you see their skin is split open and that shiny black surface is underneath. And so it looks like a combination of perhaps infection, maybe some mercy killings, maybe some outright murder happened in here, just total chaos.
Hexy is going to relay the information about the canisters and the overheating part. Basically, there are 3 canisters, right?
Yes. And we have found one of them.
Right. So, if either of the other 2 canisters are found, please make sure they do not overheat. The maximum temperature they can be held at is 28 degrees Celsius. I'm inventing something here.
Perfect. I love it.
Noted. Thanks, Hexy. So that's 1 canister down. 2 and 1 captain to go.
Well, onwards and upwards.
Where to now?
Well, the Doc looks around and goes, well, the galley was the other cool room in here, so maybe we should check there.
To the galley?
All right.
To the galley.
It may be smart to at some point check out the other ship that is docked as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Vanguard.
The galley is cold. The entrance is sealed off with construction plastic to conserve the cold. Kind of like the thick, semi-opaque plastic you might see in like an industrial freezer. As you get close, it looks like the interior has crew lockers. There are probably bunks. The mess would be here. Who is first into the galley?
Oh, definitely KO.
Definitely
Weapon
KO.
at the ready.
You hear a voice cry out, "Who's there? Who is it?"
Oh, I know those jokes.
I have had a mind blank. What is the name of our ship?
The Silverback.
Silverback. This is Marine Officer KO, call sign KO from the USS Silverback. We're here on account of the protocol. Your android activated.
You're Tokugawa?
We are,
Oh, thank goodness.
unfortunately.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I was hoping for rescue. And a man steps out from a cold corner. I'm Alex Young. I'm one of the scientists on board the ship. I was in my bunk when everything went down. There was sounds of gunfire, people screaming. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I hid in here, but I'm still alive. The cold seems to keep them away. Do you have a ship? Can we get out of here?
Not without a few things.
We do have a ship. However, without a key card, we cannot. What would the verb be to get off another? Not de-dock.
To
That is not a
debark.
word, is it?
Or
Disengage.
yeah.
Disengage. Thank you. To disengage.
The captain's probably got it. I haven't seen them. I'm not sure where they are.
What's your captain's name?
Kate Walker.
Checks out.
Oh, this was a riddle.
Just taking a quick look at this guy, does he appear to have any wounds, any signs that he might be infected?
Give me an intellect roll. You can add either if you have like biology or pathology to that. Oh, nice. You don't see
Phew.
any signs of infection. He looks to be healthy. There's no wounds. He looks frightened and cold.
So you say you're one of the scientists, then that means you have to know where the rest of the cargo is.
Well,
Or what the cargo is.
it's gas. It's from that SETI planet, the mining colony. We're on our way to Delta something or other. I don't remember the numbers. Look, I'm low level. I'm just
7.
7. Yes, yeah, that's the one. Delta 7. Delta 7. I think the gas is in the lab. But some of it got out. Have you seen those things in the vents?
There is a failed canister in the hallway.
Oh no, that's how it happened. Yeah, you got to
Did
get me out of
someone-
here.
Did someone purposely take canisters from the lab?
Yeah, this other ship came and docked, and I think they were going to take it for themselves. There was a huge fight. I don't know exactly what happened. Like I said, I was asleep, but I just heard gunshots, and I kind of peeked out and saw all this going on, and I hid here. I'm not brave like you, but I'm alive.
Sometimes alive is better than brave.
It is, in this case.
Just
It is certainly better for organic life forms to be alive instead of brave.
listen, just sit tight for a second. We need to secure the cargo and get that key card. Once we've done that, we'll come back and get you and escort you to our ship.
No, I'm staying with you guys. You guys got guns. You can protect me.
Would you know where extra ammunition or gunfire can be acquired?
There's a little in here. You could probably rummage around and find some. And he opens up a couple of ship's lockers and pulls out. There's a couple of hazard suits. There's a first aid kit. There's a flare gun, and there are a few packets of ammunition for both pulse rifles, revolvers, and shotguns.
Doc, Dallas, you may want to get some equipment.
While he's opening up those lockers and rummaging, I'm going to get Doc's attention, and I'm just going to give a almost imperceptible shaking of my head as I motion towards this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
if his back is turned towards me, I'm going to silently mouth Vanguard.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I think Doc has also been sketched out by this guy, so I think they have a silent exchange, being like,
Hexy picks up none of it.
So he pulls out a couple of hazard suits. Like I said, a flare
I'll take a
gun.
hazard suit.
Okay, let me throw a hazard suit on here.
Yeah, KO was too busy kind of not turning her back on this guy, especially since he was talking about he knows where weapons and stuff are. So just keeping her eye so she also missed the exchange.
Hexy's definitely going to take some rounds for her pulse rifle. We're going to reload this thing.
nice. Yeah, I think Doc also reloads the revolver if there's any ammunition.
Let me get you guys up to. Let me reload your guns.
Let's
get you up to full ammunition here.
And I think while Doc is reloading, he just looks at the mysterious man. Oh, Alex. We have the same name. Oh my god. And he just goes, the company didn't mention what they wanted with the gas, did they?
No, I don't know what they want. As far as I know, it's research. You know, we were supposed to run tests on it, but we couldn't get anything figured out. We didn't have the right equipment.
You were going to run tests here on this ship.
Well, we did what we could, but we needed some more significant equipment. We don't have the proper things here to run all the diagnostics that we need. Look, I was taking samples and just getting stuff ready. We did find out that it's got military applications. That's all I know.
The captain just kind of nods.
He passes out ammunition, gives a hazard suits out to, I think, is there anyone does not have? Doc, do you want a hazard suit? Your armor is shredded.
Yes, would love a suit.
Perfect. Gives you 1
If
point
there's-
of armor, but it's better than nothing. Sorry, 5 points of armor, not 1 point.
Oh.
In which case, I mean, Hexy currently is wearing just a uniform because who equips an android with armor?
Right.
But it might not be a bad idea
Yeah.
to put some
Put
on.
on the suit here.
We don't want spores to attach to you. That would be
Yeah, exactly. If gases are around, hazard suits are helpful for the health of organic matter. As I was once organic, I want to make sure that my internal health remains undamaged.
Mm-hmm.
My cat is being really sweet right now.
No.
So Dallas, you and Doc, you have this exchange. What comes of that?
If I can get Alex's attention or be able to like have silent contact without anybody else seeing, is that possible? Like when he's giving me my suit or something?
Yeah, maybe you could like crouch down and maybe he's helping you put the suit on while the others are maybe
I will.
KO's
I will
helping
just.
Hexy and Doc put their suits on. You would have a moment to have a conversation.
I will just simply say, shh.
And he looks at you and, oh, yeah, quiet. And then he points up at a vent in the room and says, yeah, we're not alone.
I want to set him at a false sense of security.
Okay.
Oh.
He kind of looks at you and whispers, thank you. And then starts to pass out the suits and stuff to everyone, and the ammunition.
So you don't know where the captain is?
I don't. If I'm being honest, I haven't left the galley. I've stayed here this whole time. And there is 1 hour, 3 minutes remaining.
1 hour, 3 minutes remaining.
Doc says, well, Alex, you know the ship the best, so lead the way to the science room.
Alright, go straight ahead, hang a left.
You lead the way.
He looks at you like, are you crazy? Me lead the way? I don't have a weapon. Can I have a weapon?
So player Lilith just had a moment of, but that was right, and forgetting where left is completely.
I think I have a token for Alex. Let me pull him.
KO, having missed this earlier silent exchange, kind of shoots Doc a slightly puzzled look and is like, there could be more of these things out there. I'll take point.
Doc just nods and goes, all right, KO's up front, but Alex, you are right behind.
So KO, as you enter the bridge and prepare to go into the science lab, you hear a sound coming from the hallway to the south. And it's that same, is it mechanical, is it biological? You've heard this before. It's coming from the southern part of the ship.
The door, I'm assuming, is open, yeah, to the corridor?
It is open.
Drop down, take a knee, position at the door, hold up my fist again, and say, boogie incoming.
I have the weirdest question.
Yeah.
Or like an unusual suggestion, should I say, not so much a weird question. Could, with sensors analyses, I mean, she is technically a computer, Hexy mimic the sound and call back?
Yep, give me an intellect roll to mimic that sound. I'm going to give you...
linguistics?
Linguistics, yes. I love that idea.
Darn it.
Oh, it was on like a 0-2 and then went to an 82. You replay the sound exactly as you heard it, but perhaps it was a call and response, and maybe you didn't give the right response. But you can hear splashing in that hallway to the south, as though something is coming your way.
Ooh. I think I made an error.
Close the door?
Yeah, give me a speed roll to get that door closed, as you see ripples in the water of the hallway beginning to come towards you as though the water's being pushed ahead of it.
Nice.
And as the door begins to close, you see one of those huge, big, multi-legged creatures charging down the hallway, and it slams into the door with a loud clang. And you can hear it grunting and snarling as it's pounding up against that wall and against that door, trying to burst itself in.
Can we lock it or wedge
Is it like a blast door kind of thing?
It's not a blast door, but you can put a security lock on there, because the bridge has to be secured like this. So you can engage that, or you can actually disable it, and so you will no longer have access through that door if you want.
Given that I was also readying a shot, can I see if I can get a shot off on this thing before the door shuts?
Give me a speed roll just as the door shuts to see if you have time to get that shot off.
And I'll add my military training.
Ooh,
nice. Yeah, you get a shot. Go ahead and take a shot.
And can I potentially get advantage on this because I was ready and I've
Yes.
figured out where to hit these things
Yep,
before?
I like that. That's a handful of dice.
So many.
Oh, okay.
Ew.
You hit its center of mass, and you see your smart round just punch right through it in a spray of black mist as it staggers to the side just as the door shuts, and then you hear its bulk clang up against the door. You know that was a significant wound, and that it will be feeling that one for quite some time.
I wouldn't say seal this door. We've got to get back through here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Hopefully that'll slow it down some.
That is the way back to the ship, unless you want to risk going through the ventilation system.
Absolutely not.
Hexy, do you go into the science lab?
Yes, I do. Because what would I do with an escape pod right now?
In the science lab. This is cold. This has standard lab equipment. There are different mutated life forms in jars. It's messy in here. It looks like someone left in a hurry. You see one heavy sealed container with a blue light lit up on it. It's in a docking unit that shows there are 2 sockets that are empty. There were likely 2 other containers here. There is only one here now. Documentation contains information that the life forms have an aversion to cold and mutate slower in cold environments, the same that you read on the other canisters. Also states that the container will open unless kept cold.
Right. So Hexy will share that information and will add 1 canister acquired, 1 canister missing. Unaccounted for canister temperature unknown.
Well, we've got one here. Is it possible they tried to take one to the escape pods and didn't quite make it?
Or to the other ship.
Or it could
Or
be
to
in the
the other
galley.
ship.
I don't think we didn't search the galley, did we?
You were there long enough. You didn't see any other bodies. You saw most of the galley.
I do have a question because I missed that earlier.
Yeah.
An escape pod left, or did
Yes.
people just get on the escape pod and it did not?
No, so 1 escape pod did leave, but it looks like there's 1 more remaining.
I see. Do we know what happens to an escape pod when it gets ejected? Like, does it have a place that it automatically gets jettisoned
These likely
to?
just put out a homing beacon.
Okay.
There may be controls on there to go to the nearest, habitable zone or something like that. It varies from ship to ship, but you're basically like in a life raft in the ocean, just waiting for somebody to pick you up.
Right. There is a chance that a canister may be left in one of the pods.
Well, we've already ruled out here and the galley. The escape pods make the next most sensible place to check. We've got to get this cargo. And if there is 1 still remaining, maybe that's where we'll find the captain.
I like your logic.
I'll take point and
Yes,
move towards
Teo's
the
logic
escape
seems
pods.
sound.
Yeah, it
This
doesn't
is
happen
why
often,
I like
does it,
Teo.
Hexy?
Even a blind pig finds an acorn now and then.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often, does it, Hexy, eh?
No, but when it does, it is amusing.
KO, you see that there are bays for 2 pods. 1 escape pod is left. Just outside the remaining pod, you see the shape of a woman lying dead on the ground. She looks as though she's been shot in the back. She's got gold epaulets on her shoulders of her uniform. And you see a foot in the other, or in the remaining pod. You can see what looks like a foot. As you get closer, you'll probably see the entire body, but looks like another dead body inside that pod.
I'll look around just to make sure there's no immediate threats, and then go straight for the captain. See if she's got any more. See if she's got the key card on her, and any other weapons or anything we need to be aware of.
As you roll her over, you see her name tag, Captain Kate Walker. Her eyes are lifeless. Blood is trickling from her mouth, and attached to her uniform by a little retractable cable is the GMEP key card that you would be able to access with the computer and unlock your ship from the Scorpio.
Yep, grabbing that.
Captain Walker located. Captain Walker deceased.
Doc walks up to the captain, gives her a small salute, and then closes her eyes.
Nice.
Hexy, completely unfamiliar with this particular practice. What was that for?
Respect.
How is that respectful?
Like this, she could be sleeping.
So
Do
now
sleeping people normally have blood from their mouths?
It's called gentle repose for a reason, Hexy.
So now when you are
Gotta make
back
it look
in deep
gentle.
sleep, Hexy's going to be like trying to close your eyelids all the time.
Yeah, that's absolutely gonna happen from now on.
Dallas, are you in this room as well?
Yes.
You look around and notice that there is the body in the other escape pod. Do you go and take a look?
Yes, we'll check that. We'll check them out. See initially what team they're on. And, of course, we're going to check for cigarettes.
Let me see if I can do this. Not sure if this is how I do this. Been having issues with the. I'm going to see if this will send a test message. No. You roll it over. It's a male scientist. Looks like one of the head scientists on board the ship. There's a name tag. Let me. You see it. No one else sees it, but it says Alex Young, scientist.
Oh. Are his eyes open?
His eyes are open.
Yes, he's gonna go close up.
Nice.
Very respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Very respectful.
Good job. Doc, pats Hexy on the back.
Thank you.
I'm going to kind of, just kind of snatch that name badge and
Yeah.
get it in my pocket unseen if possible.
It looks like the escape pod has room for 2 individuals.
Is there any sign of the other canister?
There is no
Yeah.
sign of the canister. There is, however, a vent in this room.
It's everywhere.
Doc points
It
to
really
the vent and just goes, hey Alex, you want to check that out?
It is unfortunate how much organic things need to breathe and air needs to circulate.
That is very true.
Alex comes over. Oh man, not the captain. Oh, this is terrible. Hey, look, some of us could use this pod. That gas needs to get off of here. Why don't we load that onto this pod, and I'll go with it. As a scientist, I know what I'm doing. Maybe
The pod does not have stable enough temperature to allow this to happen.
well, if I took one of you guys,
Tokugawa rules demand that the cargo be safe.
well, if I take one of you guys, maybe you can figure out how to keep it cold inside the pod.
We are not refrigerators, nor are we scientists.
But
The pod does not have the technology to keep the canister cool.
well, Dallas, do you think maybe you could rig something to keep it cold in the pod?
Not based on the systems that are in the pod. It would take systems greater than what is in that, and it would take days to jerry rig something.
Yeah.
You are welcome to join us on the ship with the canister.
Yeah.
There, you can keep it safe with your scientific knowledge.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, but what if that thing gets through the door?
If it gets through the door, the escape pod is of no use to you.
But like one or two of us could take it right now.
Let me put it to you this way, son. That cargo is going back on my ship, whether you like it or not.
And
KO kind of is like staring him dead in the eyes, and like the cybernetic eye whirs and starts to
Nice.
kind of glow red. It's like,
Hexy... Yeah, go. Sorry.
those are my orders. The cargo is on my ship at all costs.
Hexy's
You
going
hear me?
Hexy's going to tilt her head in that very like cutesy anime way and go, "You seem unfamiliar with Tokugawa protocol."
I'm just trying to make sure that some of us survive. We can tell the bosses what happened.
Tokugawa protocol has technology to find out what happened. Survivors are secondary.
And
The cargo must be maintained.
he starts to back his way towards the remaining escape pod. He's kind of holding up his hands defensively, like, look, I just, we might not make it off of here, but I can. And he takes a step back into the pod.
I'm gonna try and clock this guy.
Okay.
Seems savage, but if I fail, if I don't bring this cargo back, I know what happens to my family.
Yep.
So
Oh,
as
dang!
soon as he starts going forward, I just turn to Doc, take the pistol, and I'm just gonna straight up shoot him in the leg.
Nice.
Yes.
Give me a combat roll.
Ooh, do I need the equipment back just for a sec for that?
Yeah, I can get that to you.
Yeah, sorry, Doc,
Ooh.
I just don't want to waste. But yeah, this guy is a threat.
Is
He's
there a
going
way
down.
for me to help give KO advantage on this? Maybe by, I'm thinking, I mean, would be charisma, I guess, if it was D&D, but like, essentially cornering faux Alex, because like asking, like grilling him on the protocol and basically having him backed up.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe you are like maybe making him nervous.
Yeah.
You could give me a. Yeah, just give her advantage. So as you are saying that, kind of getting him on edge, making him nervous.
Yeah.
Pull out the gun. You shoot him in the leg.
Yeah.
He clutches his leg as he drops down onto his backside. You can see blood gushing between his fingers, and he's trying to pull himself into the pod. He's scratching his arm up at the wall, trying to hit the door, the door button to get the door shut and get this pod jettisoned, but he can't quite reach it. What are you doing? You've doomed us.
I
You
walk
may-
over to him and grab his wrist, twist it,
Oh.
and hold the gun in his face.
I love that.
And my eyes, like my pupils, are like fully dilated like a shark who scented blood, and
Oh,
I'm standing
nice.
over him with the gun. And I say, the cargo is going on my ship. No risks, no failure. And I pull the trigger and I'm going to shoot this guy point blank.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Yes.
Give me a roll with advantage.
Blood.
Oh. JD, I love you. You always bring the drama.
I am the drama.
I don't think I'm the drama. Maybe I am.
You see his eyes flash, and he looks at Dallas with almost a pleading look in his eyes. Then the back of his head just explodes, and he falls back into the pod. The pod is just spattered with his gray matter, and his leg is just twitching as he lays there as his nervous system fires its last few bursts of electrochemical signal.
Hexy is going very matter-of-factly going to, like, wipe a bit of blood skull, whatever landed on, like, KO's face away.
Do you go close his eyes?
Yes! Yes! Yes, absolutely.
Nice.
It is a sign of respect.
Dallas is going to light up a cigarette and say, "Well, that's that."
You've got one of the canisters. There, you found the other one that's been opened. There's one missing, but there's also an escape pod missing.
Yeah.
It's possible that someone already got away with one of the canisters.
Hexy, again going to be obvious, is going to say, it is unusual that a scientist from Tokugawa would be so unfamiliar with the protocol. She still hasn't. Yeah, she has not caught on.
And Hexy, you are aware that there are 42 minutes remaining.
42 minutes remaining.
Doc says, well, looks like it's a good time to check out that Vanguard ship.
Hopefully that thing in the hallway is bled out.
Would be nice.
I hand the pistol back to Doc and say, if not, well, we need to replace one of the samples, don't we? And I've still got like that look as I'm looking directly into Doc's eyes. It's like, they need 3.
They do need 3.
One thing to consider is the cold factor. These creatures are slowed and dislike the cold. If we lock the science lab, we can make that one warm and cool down other rooms instead.
And you can
That's
do
a
that
great
from life
idea.
support.
Yes. We could do the same to the galley.
Mm-hmm.
As we move.
Sounds like
Great
a plan.
idea.
Now you just have
So
to
where
open
is
that door.
Yeah, where is the Vanguard ship, Doc?
Probably at this
Probably
dock.
On the
Yep.
dock? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we'll have to pass by life support anyway.
Mhm.
So I'll ready my gun, anticipating that thing to be on the other side, or in that area at least. Ready when you are.
Let's move.
I ready my gun as well.
As you
My rifle.
As you open the door, let me pull out the creature.
Oh, there are 2 now.
There's the big one and a little one.
Oh no.
And the big one has taken that wound to the chest. The little one has joined it. And you can see the water moving behind them as though there's something under the water. I'll have everyone give me a speed roll
Oh boy.
as you fight your way out of this room and down the hallway.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Might I add, once again, physics, the study of matter, motion, and energy, because we are running or speeding through water, and I'm assuming that Hexy has a way of doing this in the most efficient possible way.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, I had the thought. KO, as one of the sort of, I guess, stronger members of the crew, might actually be carrying the canister, so might be slowed down a little
so
bit.
you actually have disadvantage on a
Oh.
speed check if you are carrying the canister. And KO failed anyway, so that would make sense. Doc and Dallas will go
my.
first, the bad guys, and then Hexy and KO. So Doc, we'll start with you.
Yeah, Doc is going to once again try to shoot one of them. He'll aim for the one that's already quite bloodied.
The big one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I add the surgery to it?
Yes, because it's been wounded, I'll say that you can add that to it.
Perfect. Hey,
nice.
finally.
The round penetrates. It doesn't seem to do a significant amount of damage, but it's going to feel that wound, and you see it recoil slightly from that. Dallas, you're up.
All right. I'm going to aim for that spot at the base of the neck, in the clavicle region,
Nice.
where it won't have that.
Where you hit the first one.
Yes.
Yep. Ooh.
Damn.
Not quite. The big one, let's do a little 1d4 again. So 1 is Doc, 2 Hexy, 3 Dallas, 4 is KO. Goes after Doc.
Oh no.
Lashes its massive tentacle. Oh! And it misses. Woo!
What?
And then the little one, we'll do the same d4 again. We'll go after, going after Doc again. Picking on the Doc.
Does he have something on him that they smell?
Are you wearing like a little bit of tuna salad on your shirt? It's those beef nachos? Or are you the one that had the beef nachos? Smelling the beef nachos. So thankfully you only take 1 point of damage, and since you put on that hazmat suit, you've got armor protection against it, so you take no damage. We go to Hexy and then KO.
So, I have a question.
Yes.
I can only take one action. I can't shoot and run, for example.
No, you can. You can
I
technically
can?
you can move and attack if you wanted. You kind of get 2 actions. It's usually a movement and then something else.
Okay, so what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to essentially... I'm going to try and triangulate again, using the mistake I made the first time on the smaller one, and try to hit this time a smaller one without hitting anybody else.
Nice.
In the process. And once I've shot it, hopefully that's enough of a distraction for me to run past and into the life support room.
Yeah, I would give you
Hexy's
a
going to
speed
start...
roll to try and,
Yeah.
and manage that.
Okay. So weapons and then speed?
Yes.
Right. So,
So you lay down your own covering fire.
yes, basically.
Oh, nice. So hit the
I think
little
that's a hit.
one. Yep, that's a hit.
Yeah.
For 7 damage.
And then...
Speed roll.
there is no way really to give myself advantage due to the distraction, is there?
No, and with the water, it's probably it would negate any advantage you might have because you're sloshing through water.
No worries. I will use my use of physics, though, if I may.
Yeah. You got it. So you managed to slip by them.
I'm going to run into the life support room and start cooling things down.
Okay. KO, you're
where
up.
people are.
Okay. So we've still got the big one and a little one. I'm going to aim for the big one because I managed to injure it before.
Yeah, you do quite a bit of damage with that smart rifle.
And I did have my gun ready because I knew it was going to be on the other side.
You knew it was here.
So let's go for gold. Does that give me advantage?
It does.
Sweet. Oh, reload first.
So normally that would take your action, but you would have known I needed to reload before they opened the door, so I'm going to allow that.
Thank you kindly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh,
Nice.
that's the big one. 25
Dang.
points of damage. He takes a wound. And in fact, he will take 2 wounds. That hit him pretty hard. That was significant. We go back to Doc.
I'm wondering, since Doc can't do a lot of damage, it might make more sense for him to try to also skirt around and go help Hexy.
Okay, that'd be a speed roll.
Alright, let's see here.
Nice. Yeah, so
Nice.
with the massive shot on the big one, you use that little bit of chaos to dart past it. The smaller one probably lashes at you as you run by and just narrowly misses hitting you. Dallas, you're up.
okay. I'm gonna go again for that same spot.
Oh, not quite. That was close. Close, but not quite. The big one is going to go, let's see, 1, 2 will be Dallas, 3, 4 will be KO. It's going after Dallas.
Characters whose names start with D are not lucky in this game.
Not our night.
Oh, it needed to roll under 65 and it rolled a 65. The little one is going to go 1, 2 is Doc, 3, 4 is Hexy as it breaks off. Oop, I did that wrong. Sorry. Let's try that. I'm gonna go after Doc.
It really is the D.
I know, man. That's the curse of the day here. But it misses, thankfully. We've got Hexy, you're up. So you're in the room. Let's go back to the map. And which room do you want to make cold?
So, from life support, we're going to... The science lab is
Okay.
closed. The galley has been closed, yes?
Yes.
So as we don't need those, I can just blast heat into those, and maybe the things will even go to those vents. I'm going to... I don't know that I can cool the hallways necessarily, but I'm going to cool things as they go.
So
down
on
the...
one turn, you'll be able to probably cool one room or heat one
Okay.
room. So what one do you want to do first?
So I'm going to sap the coldness from the science lab and blast into the cargo bay.
Okay.
I guess. Because the hallways are... What are the hallways like for temperature? They can't be cooled, I guess.
They're a little bit on the warmer side, but there's not enough ventilation in there to cool them
Okay.
out. So
I'm going to blast it into
swap.
the...
So what will
cargo
happen
bay.
is they will... The way that this is working is if you cool one room, another one heats up. So as you cool the cargo bay, the science lab starts to warm up.
That's right.
Perfect.
And I'm going to turn to Doc and go, "You're going to need this more than I. I can last longer in this room."
So let me pull Doc down to that room as well. Perfect.
Get the cargo back to the ship.
And Hexy has or KO has the cargo, right?
Yes.
Then it's
But I'm giving Doc the pulse rifle. Make sure KO takes care of Mr. Fancy.
Let me give. Oh. Let me give you the pulse rifle here, Doc. There we go. Well, you got all the weapons: scalpel, unarmed strike, revolver, stun baton, pulse rifle.
My goodness, it's an armory.
Walking arsenal. KO, you're up.
Hey, I'm gonna hook in and try and take out that big one again.
Okay.
Let's do this thing.
Woof.
Oh yes, just.
Nice. Man, that gun is just brutal. Okay, it's gonna be, takes another wound. This thing is badly damaged. It is staggering and looks as though it may break off from the attack and retreat. Let's go back to Doc. You are in the life support area. You're handed the pulse rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Who has the key card?
I think it's Doc.
I think Doc has the key card.
Yeah.
Because Doc was checking out was
Oh yeah, the captain.
yeah the captain. So Doc, you have the key card. You know that in the computer room is where you would deactivate the GMEP.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, use the card slot.
So yeah, I think he gets the pulse rifle, gives Hexy a nod, and then yeah, before he goes to start running down the hallway, he deactivates the thing.
Okay, go ahead and give me an intellect roll with advantage as you put in the card. Make sure there's no other overrides that you need to do here.
Hey.
Oh yeah, critical success.
Correct.
You put it in. You hit the deactivation sequence. You hear the GMEP deactivated, and you hear a loud clunk as the electrical locks come undone on your ship and on the Vanguard ship.
Woohoo.
Let's go back to Dallas. Your turn.
All right. Time to put this damn thing down. Maybe, if I can hit. Thankfully, I finally hit.
Yeah.
You hitting the big one?
Yes.
Tell me how you kill it.
Just diagonal slice right through the clavicle on the right side and all the way down out the left side.
Nice. Your vibrochetti just hacks right through it like a hot knife through butter. You see this black liquid sizzling on the blade as it cuts through. It sloughs off in two halves, plopping down into the water as the smaller one, snarling, will continue to... Actually, with the small one, let me give him a roll. Let me see what he's going to do at seeing this happen. They've got an instinct roll. Is he going to stick around, or is he going to run? Oh, he's out of there. So the small one is going to bolt, and he scampers down the hallway towards the engine room.
Given the range
26.
on my weapon is extreme,
You
can
take a
I
shot.
try and pot shot?
Yep, you sure can.
Go, 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 go.
No failures tolerated. Oh, critical success.
40.
Oh,
Damn.
Damn!
yeah, right in the back of the head, and just decapitate him. And that smart round just punches right through the base of his skull, severs the spinal cord, head is gone, body slumps into the water, just insta-kill.
26 minutes and 19 seconds until catastrophic failure.
Spectacular.
Nice
Okay,
shooting, Marine.
we'll go back to the map. Where to now?
Is there a way to drain the oxygen out of rooms as well? Like, can I starve the science lab of any life support? Like, actually, like electricity, gases, whatever.
Yes, and you can add either jury rigging or hacking if you have either of those skills.
I do not.
But otherwise,
But
an intellect
I-
roll.
Could I do computers?
Yeah.
Okay. What did I do with my character sheet? Sorry, give me a minute.
You can either click on your token or go to the actors tab.
There it is. Yep, I just messed up there. Sorry. So intellect, computers.
Nice. So, which room do you want to shut off oxygen to?
The science lab had the most weird stuff in,
Yes.
and Alex had been living in the galleys, so I'm not too worried about the galley yet.
Okay.
So, yeah, science.
You shut off oxygen in the science lab. It'll take a few moments for it's going to fill with nitrogen and inert gas. As you just start pumping nitrogen in, the oxygen will be forced out of there. Where is everyone else going? You've got just under 20 some odd minutes until the core melts down on this ship.
Doc is gonna go
I'll
down
just-
to the Vanguard ship for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, south.
Let me make a roll here. Okay. As you make your way to Docking Bay A, you can see that the GMEP has been deactivated and you would have access to the Vanguard ship. The airlock is shut. You'll need to try and get through their security code to access the ship. You can give me a roll if you like, and you'll have disadvantage. This has a high level of security on it.
23 minutes and 48 seconds until catastrophic failure.
And you know that you would need to be a certain radius away from this ship if it were to explode, if you wanted to not sustain any damage to the Silverback.
Mm-hmm. But we only have... How many samples do we have?
We've got the one canister, which should hopefully be enough.
You did collect a sample from one of the things.
Yep, and samples from one of the things, plus samples of the spores, I believe.
Yes.
And I guess we could still grab the empty canister. There's definitely shit in there that can be analyzed.
Yeah, that was in the bridge, so you'd be able to grab that. Doc and Dallas, if you guys want to try and hack into the Vanguard ship, you can.
Would I be able to use jury rigging?
Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, yep, you can try.
Yeah, you can try.
Would that be an intellect with
Yes. Yep,
jury
intellect and then
rigging?
add jury rigging. You put in an old code, but it seems to check out.
Nice.
The portal opens into the airlock, and there is another internal door. Inside of here, you can see racks where they would have kept armaments, vac suits, boarding axes, things like that. Looks like most of it has been removed from the storage area. You'll need to get through this second door.
Okay.
Can Hexy and I work on getting setting up the samples we've got on our ship, securing them in essentially cold storage?
Yep. Give me a speed roll just to maneuver that down the hallway and get it onto your ship. Dallas, you're not able to hack through this second door if Doc wants to try.
Yeah.
I'll give that a go.
Failure.
Yeah, whatever security they have on this internal door seems to elude your hacking abilities. Oh, Doc, that's not good.
Uh-oh.
That was at a disadvantage again, right?
Yeah, let's give Doc a panic check.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, so you rolled.
Oh no.
So you gain a new condition, Coward. So you must make a fear save to engage in violence, otherwise you will flee. So anytime...
Give your weapons to
combat,
Dallas.
Yeah, you'll have to make a fear save. Isn't Doc holding like all the weapons? Or is it Dallas?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's Doc.
I have the big rifle for sure. I do have a few weapons.
As KO and Hexy maneuver the canisters onto the Silverback, it's slow going.
Just before Hexy leaves the life support room, though, she's also going to move the cold air from the galley. Basically heat that up and blast as much cold air as she can into engine room, cargo bay, like this entire, like the area where they're at, just to make sure that they are safe.
We add warm air there, and I'm gonna pull this down to here. Perfect. As you make it back on board the Silverback, you you have means to refrigerate this canister. The going is slow because of the water, and every now and then, as you're trudging through the water, you hit a body of one of the creatures that you have killed, and it surfaces for a moment and then submerges beneath the water. It's now got a light layer of oil on the top from whatever juice has gushed out of their body cavities from all the many wounds.
Might I also add that, though, with use of physics, my understanding of how to best move these canisters through the water with a limited amount of jostling of the canisters themselves and as much speed as we can muster without causing any further damage to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. And so and maybe that's why it takes you a little bit longer to get it in there, because you are being very cautious. You don't want this thing to get warm. You know that if it gets warm, that's bad. And so you're taking your time, making sure that the path ahead is nice and cool. You make it in, through the cargo bay, back onto the Silverback. You're getting this hooked up. You notice that the countdown is now at just under 18 minutes before the Silverback is going to self-destruct. As you...
The Scorpio, you mean?
the Scorpio. Yeah, woo! The Scorpio is going to self-destruct. Anything else you want to do on the Scorpio before you detach and disengage and head away?
Nothing from me.
Anything?
No, if we can't get in that other ship,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's it.
Doc's
Doc and Dallas and KO, give me a body save.
oh no.
Oh, 'cause it's airborne.
You don't need to breathe.
Yeah, Hexy's fine.
I told you all not to breathe.
Apology for that?
Could I put my military training on this? I
Yes.
feel like we've been exposed to a lot of toxins in my life.
Yep, you can.
Can I also add my pathology to this?
Yes. You've been breathing through your nose, that's the best way.
I did recommend to stop breathing.
Yes. Hexy saved us.
Oh, nice.
Dang!
You make it on board the Silverback. You detach and begin to pull away from the Scorpio. As you look through the viewports, the Scorpio is rotating counterclockwise, but because of your view, it almost feels as though you're rotating the other way. It's disorienting at first because of your frame of reference. You achieve a safe distance from the Scorpio, and you see this blinding flash of nuclear energy as the core erupts. A huge ball of light. There are brief flames as the remaining oxygen on the ship is combusted quickly, and then you just see a field of debris spreading out in every direction from that blinding pulse of light.
I'm assuming...
Oh, go ahead. Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm assuming most people have to, shield their eyes a little from the pulse of light.
Yep, you would want to look away. Hexy can just stare right at it.
Hexy's staring right at it, and it's giving her the, cat laser eyes. It's, off her artificial retina. It's just, blasting back.
Nice.
Yes.
As you make it back on the ship, you are enjoying a meal. You've got the canister safely secured in your ship's deep freeze storage unit. And you go to bed that night, resting from your wounds, from your injuries. The next morning, as Hexy is going around to wake the crew for breakfast, you notice that Dallas, he's got a little wound, a little scratch on his hand, and you kind of look at it and notice that it seems to be, looks like it might be infected, like there's some sort of pussy buildup under there. Would Hexy do anything about that?
Dallas, you may want to go see the medbay. This does not seem like something good to happen in stasis.
Dallas, you go off to the medbay. Doc is probably running some tests on you. The machine kicks out a printout. Doc tears it off, looks at it, and his eyes look up at you, and the screen goes black. And that's where we end.
Oof.
Oh my gosh, could I throw in one
Yes, please do.
last
Please
thing?
do.
As the doc looks up, KO, having heard Hexy say this, has sort of followed, and when the doc looks up, it sort of pans over to the door. KO is standing there with their rifle in their hand
Oh,
and looking directly at Dallas. I said, they need that cargo. 4 specimens is better than 3.
Nice.
And that's the last thing they say.
nice.
JD.
I love it. I love it.
Well, if Dallas dies, his eyes will be closed.
Yes. We will close the eyes.
I'm gonna say I live.
Sure.
I'm saying I
And we
live.
don't
I'm
know.
not.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know. Fate unknown. You are Schrodinger's Dallas right now.
Yep.
Yes.
So yeah, when Doc looked up, was it a look of this is positive and we got to put you down, or is this a look of it's just tetanus? You know, it's hard to say what it was. We won't know, but we can all draw our own conclusions. And if in your world Dallas lived, I'm fine with that.
Schrodinger's Dallas.
Awesome.
Like the final episode of The Sopranos.
Yep. Yeah. You don't know what happened to Tony. Everything went black.
I have never watched that show.
Oh man, it's the ending is like maddening because you just want to know what happens.
So I've heard,
Yeah.
which is one of the reasons why I will never watch the show,
Right?
because I don't want that frustration in my life.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because you
It's worth
want to
it.
know. Yeah,
It's
it's a
worth it.
great show, wonderful show. Well, speaking of great and wonderful things, I have had a blast playing this with you tonight. I hope everyone else has had a good time. This is one of my favorite Mothership scenarios. It's short, it's sweet, it's got everything you want. It's got suspense, it's got a twist. Does anyone, Dallas, do you want to tell us what your secret agenda was?
Yes. I was the one that sold the itinerary of the Scorpio to Vanguard.
Oh.
And
Dude.
did you know who that Alex Young fellow was?
That was my contact. He was the one who paid me.
Yep.
Oh, damn.
And so we all kind of had our own little motivations here. I know that KO, you needed to do this or something was going to happen to your family.
Yes, the corporation have my kids. I
yeah.
need to retrieve the cargo at all costs.
Oh no.
My agenda was literally shipment as primary target, saving humans as secondary.
Mine was that all aliens were bad and that I was carrying out secret research.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
So maybe Dallas becomes your research project.
Ooh.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to get this video posted. I'll have it uploaded as soon as we finish. I'll post a link into the Discord. You all are welcome to rewatch this and enjoy. And hopefully I'll get a chance to play with many of you again and again. I've got a couple other Mothership scenarios that I run. I've got some Vaesen, which is like 19th century Call of Cthulhu type things.
Nice.
Magic
gothic
words,
horror.
Vaesen.
Yeah, it's so fun. In fact, I'm running a game. I think Saturday. I've got a Vaesen game
Nice.
going.
Yes. I'm
Are
in
you
that, one.
Awesome.
Yes.
Nice.
And then I think I've got one the next Saturday as well. So I've got a couple of those coming up. I do a lot of Call of Cthulhu, Dragonbane, which is a lot of fun if you like your fantasy and maybe 5e's not your thing. I much prefer Dragonbane. It's more, for me, like I've been playing since the 80s. It's more old school, and there's like the risk of actually like dying is great. Whereas, you know, in 5e kind of feels like you're like a Marvel superhero, and you know, you might struggle, but you're still going to make it at the end of the day. Whereas in,
Or you'll get recast.
yeah, or you get recast. Yeah, somebody else will play your part. But in Dragonbane, it's like, you know, you fall off at like, you know, a wall and you could die, kind of thing. So Anyway, I hope I get a chance to play with all of you again and again. You're welcome to please stick around the Discord channel. I usually will post before I'm gonna run something new or something different. I'll say, hey, you know, I've got this game coming up, or like tonight. So Alex, you just joined like last minute. We had somebody that wasn't able to make it, so I just made a post. Hey, does someone want to join a Mothership game in 45 minutes? And Alex stepped up. So, you know, I'm always looking for people at the last minute to jump in.